This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
And welcome back, everybody. There is a place where you can go, spend some time, essentially do nothing, and experience light, color, sound, and amazingly change the state of your nervous system, getting rid of stress, anxiety, feeling much more relaxed. It's amazing how this all works. We're going to talk about it with her. And by the way, the only caveat here is you got to be in Grand Rapids, Michigan, because that's where the egg is located. I do really mean the egg, sort of a pot. We'll get to that. Courtney Yarch joins us once again on the program. How are you doing today?
I'm well. Thanks so much for having me. How are you doing?
Welcome back. We're talking about the Harmonic Egg, correct?
Yes. It is big and beautiful. It looks kind of like a spaceship, but it's not. Maybe a time machine. I've heard people think it looks like Mork and Mindy's spot. But actually, it is a light sound resonance chamber. So we use light and sound frequencies to rebalance the autonomic nervous system, which helps with stress, anxiety, inflammation, PTSD, chronic pain, all that good stuff.
So essentially, and by the way, we're going to give you an example in just a moment of what you hear when you go in this egg, the music portion of it. But essentially, you're experiencing the sound, the light. You don't have to do anything. And I have to ask you, what's going on with the egg? Why can't this be a room the size of, let's say, a closet where you're seeing the light, you're hearing the sound, all the stuff you experience in the Harmonic Egg? Why couldn't that just be, I don't know, a closet?
Okay, well, there is definitely things that you can do at home. You can listen to any of these songs at home. You could put on different light at home. What the Harmonic Egg does separately is it is built with the principles of sacred geometry, which is the proportions that you see like the seeds in a sunflower or a conch shell or a seahorse's tail. So it's built with proportions that your body recognizes, and the energy it's beautiful. It bounces around. You actually feel where that energy gets stuck. You feel where it's moving through you and where it gets stuck, and then as it moves on. So the proportions make a big difference in the magic.
Well, I'm getting a picture here. They have things they call it a sound bath, where there's sound therapy. It could be a practitioner playing sound bowls, different instruments to kind of achieve the same thing. But think of it as a bath. If you're going to take a bath, you go in a tub, there's water in there. If you didn't go into a bath to contain the water, let's say, well, I'm just going to take a bath. I'm going to do that I don't know, in my car, or I'm going to do that in my living room. Nothing's going to contain that. It sounds like it's bathing you with light and sound.
Exactly. And I love sound baths, so I'm not knocking on sound baths at all. But in a sound bath, you are in a big space. The energy, nothing encloses it. The energy doesn't come back to you. It kind of echoes in the room. But also a sound bath has to play stuff that is, broad enough for everyone, beneficial for the masses. And I love sound baths. But I'm just saying, with a Harmonic Egg, we're creating a space, and it's like a personalized sound bath just for you. So I take into consideration how you're feeling today, how your peace or your grief, that teeter-totter is, what your blood pressure is like today, what your blood sugar is like today, where your pain is today, how your sleep has been. And then I put it in this resonance chamber, and your body tries to resonate. It's like brain entrainment, where the frequencies of the light and sound that we play in there, they're bouncing all around the egg. And your body, it's a type of entrainment where your heart rate, your breath, your brainwave states all try to resonate with the sound frequencies and the light frequencies in the egg.
Do you pick the colors and the sound based on what somebody is telling you that they got going on?
Yes, 100%. Today I had a client come in today, and she was, every time I say, hey, what are we working on today? If they're a regular client. If it's a brand new client, I have more intake forms, and we have to really talk about what's going on in their history. But I had a new client, or a regular client, who came in today. What are we working on today? And she's like, oh my gosh, I am constipated. And so we put on Yellow Light for her, and I put on some music that was great for getting things moving. We have different songs that are better for slow metabolism, or, if you keep losing weight. We have different songs that are great for if your immune system is weak. Um, bones, bone density also. We got all sorts of magic. So whatever you come in for is where I'm going to decide your light and your sound.
So we talked about this previously. I didn't know that it was tailored to what we're going through. Let's give an example. So we're going to play a piece of music that you're going to hear, and this is specifically designed. This is 40 hertz, so that's just the frequency of the music. What would you play this for? What
If
person?
someone came in and they were anxious, they needed an autonomic nervous system reset. It's one of my favorite songs. It's pretty much good for everyone. But what I specifically love, love, love about Trilogy of Hope is that it's at that 40 hertz, which is a spot that it's like a brainwave state that you cannot get to when you are dealing with Alzheimer's or dementia. When you are losing cognitive function, your brain cannot get to the 40 hertz state. So I love to train your brain for it. If you already have cognitive decline, it is great for you. It's also great at preventing.
I'm going to play it. We're just going to shut up. Just sit back, chill, relax for just a moment. Check it out. Now, this is scientifically designed. This is not just, just some sounds. And for anybody who doesn't know, if you listen, you'll hear sort of like a drone, common sound going through. That's the 40 hertz. And then there's orchestration around it, so it sounds more melodic. As you might not want to hear just the that's kind of the foundation for the sound.
There's also, I don't know if you've heard the bird noises in there.
Oh, I did.
Yeah, the bird noises. Most nature sounds are actually really, really good for that. Stilling your like monkey brain that runs around, that just goes. Bird sounds, and most nature sounds, bees and crickets, most water sounds like an ocean or a babbling brook, or even rain. Most nature sounds are very good for the autonomic nervous system.
About I want to say 8 years ago, I had renovated a backyard, really like did it up, made it paradise, whatever. And I'm a geek, so I put speakers everywhere. It's not even expensive. I just, I find a way to do it and I get it done. I'm geeky. And I decided one day, why don't I just put bird sounds in the backyard? And then, maybe a rainforest sound. So it'd sit there in a recliner and I'd have the sounds going. You'd hear a bird over here, a bird over there. It was so relaxing, but here's the crazy part. The real birds in the neighborhood started talking back to the birds that were recorded.
I love it.
It was magical. I could listen to that all day. That never gets tiring. And there's so many different frequencies. Yes, you can search them out on YouTube, Spotify, and just even type in 40 hertz sound, and stuff like that will come up. But that's only a piece of it. Now there's also the light aspect that you're experiencing in the Harmonic Egg, right?
Yeah. Hey, I want to back up though real quick. I want to talk about that song. One of the other Egg Guardians, his dad is dealing with dementia, and it's rough. At the end of a dementia battle, it's, it just is a bummer. So he told us that as he was driving his dad to the Harmonic Egg, he was trying to communicate with his dad, and the dad was just staring out the window, not even connecting. And he got him in the Harmonic Egg, and he stayed the whole time after this song. And after the egg session, his dad was, so they had the same song playing in the car, because whenever they're in the car, he plays, some of his dad's old favorite songs. And on the way to the egg session, his dad was just staring out the window, not communicating at all. And after his harmonic egg session, he was like getting into it, kind of like tapping his fingers. Still
Wow.
not big communication, but it brought him back. It connected him back with reality, with memories. And that's so beautiful.
Oh, big time. And what would have been like if he got that sound while they were driving, right? Maybe that might have, cleared a pathway potentially for a little bit of communication. Amazing.
Exactly. So
Amazing.
beautiful.
It's got to feel good for you knowing that you're helping people move forward from challenging situations.
For sure. Absolutely. It's an emotional thing and a physical thing. And I think the two can't be separated. You can't be fully in good health if mentally you're struggling, you're dealing with anger, grief, nightmares, grief, sadness, depression. But you also can't be mentally whole when you're physically in pain and sluggish and suffering. The health and the emotional and physical go together.
So we're talking about a lot of emotional or mental challenges. Can this help with people that have maybe chronic pain, things like that?
100%. I do want to say I am not allowed to treat, heal, cure any disease or diagnosis, but there are studies showing that brain entrainment, sound waves, it helps with so many things. There's several studies all over PubMed. I have some on my website, but also you could go in anywhere looking up sound waves, heart rate, sound waves, blood pressure, sound waves, anxiety.
You're not a medical professional dispensing advice, but I am going to say you're an integrative health coach and nutritional kinesiologist. This is not just somebody that just said, I'm going to open up a place and we're going to throw this big egg-looking pod thing in there. I'm going to play some music and some sound and say, hey, we're going to make you feel better. You've got deep training in a lot of this that led you to this point, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I realized that diet and exercise weren't enough. So I knew that we had to look for more. And once I found the harmonic egg, it was life-changing, and I knew we had to bring it to Grand Rapids.
See, for me, I've known about frequencies as, I'm always transparent. Let me grab this Post-it note. You'll see, and this has been sitting here for a year, and it's my reminder. I don't know if you can see it. You probably can, but on there, I have different frequencies.
Yeah.
So I seek them out from time to time, 528 hertz being the frequency of love, and there's some other ones on there. I'll sit here doing work, and I love music. I find my day goes faster, and I can process when I put on certain songs or whatever. What happens for me, because I'm very musically driven, I keep changing the songs. Like, I got another one, man. Oh, what about this one? What about that one? It gets in it eats away in my day in terms of what I'm doing. When I put this stuff on, I get into just a zone, and I get things done, and I can be creative, etc. But I know that it's getting inside because it's in the background. After a while, I don't even know I'm listening to it. It's like the coolest, weirdest thing at the same time. So hearing this, what you're talking about, doesn't surprise me, especially with the light. And I want to get to that in a moment. The egg thing, all right, interesting, but it makes perfect sense. If you're going to do it, why wouldn't you want to be engulfed in everything? Just like you're diving into the ocean to swim. You want to be around you as opposed to like reverberation bouncing off the walls. You're not really getting the full impact unless you're in a device like this harmonic egg. I know it sounds goofy, but it works.
It's amazing. I had another client in just today, and she has, in the last year, she's been going through a breast cancer journey. So she's had multiple surgeries and treatments and everything. And after she got out, I always sit down and talk to the clients, like, so what did you experience? How are you feeling? I bring them some electrolytes. And she was saying it was crazy. Like every time it's different. Every time I feel it. But she said today in my whole area, I've had surgery, all the reconstruction, everything. She said it was like warm and tingly. And she said, and then it just stopped. So it was like energy probably got stuck at scar tissue or something. And then it just moves through. But she's like, every week it's different. And I keep getting surprised by it. I don't know why I'm surprised anymore.
How did you decide what frequency to pick for that?
She came in specifically. She had another surgery a couple days ago. So we did some yellow for detox. We did some green because it is great for overall healing. Yellow is great for detox. And I played a song called Heavy Metal Detox, which is, it's got a lot of the boom, the ooh, like low, heavy, some bass in there, which is fantastic. Some drums, which is fantastic. And
Do you recall what the
had,
driving frequency was?
I don't know the numbers for all the songs, but
Okay.
it was so
It was
good.
low. I mean, 40 hertz, what we were listening to a moment ago,
Yeah.
that's very considerably low frequency. It's been said that most devices like headphones and things like that and our hearing is 20 to 20.
Mhm.
I'd be challenged to find anybody that actually hears 20 kilohertz on the high
Right.
end. But 20 hertz is low, very, and we just listen to 40 hertz. So that, what you just described, it's got to be low in frequency. I'm going to think it's,
Yeah,
in that
for
territory.
sure. The really low ones, the like drums and the bass and the didgeridoo, they really get and they rattle up your mucus, all the stuff that you need to just like get out.
Well,
Illnesses, great for your immune system.
I got to imagine too that, and I guess I can say this because, kinesiology and all of this, I'm far from a professional, trust me. I just talk to people like you, and that's how I learn. The lymphatic system, all the toxins that are in there, I'll bet you that this helps move that stuff out.
Absolutely, absolutely. Speaking of lymphatic system, I actually went to a really cool can't even remember what it was called. I went to a workshop this weekend. It was talking about moving it through your body. Lymph is it's not like your heart and your circulatory system that has a heart and a
A
pump
pump.
that moves it.
Yeah.
Right. With your lymph, you got to actually move it through. You got to help it out a little bit. You can dry brush, you can move with your hands. You can do harmonic egg sessions, all
Hmm.
sorts of good stuff.
And think of this for seniors. Now, they
Hmm.
don't move like they used to, and nothing's going to move that lymphatic fluid through your body except movement. And if you don't, it's just sitting there stagnant. The toxins are there, and then what comes from that? Chronic issues, illness, et cetera, et cetera. Let's talk about the light
Yeah, let's do
aspect
it.
of this. Yeah. Tell me about that.
The different frequencies, like red is a lower frequency, purple is a higher frequency. So similar to sound, the different colors have different healing benefits. Um, Blue is great for reducing inflammation. And that's not just when you cut yourself or you fall down. Inflammation can be caused by stress, by immune system, issues, by gut um, issues. So I love blue, but I don't play blue if someone deals with depression or I live in Michigan, so there's always gray clouds. So I play a lot of cyan, which is more like a turquoise-ish aqua kind of color. Green is great for overall healing. It has a lot of cleansing benefits. It's also great for migraine headaches. Purple is great for a lot of, think like crown chakra. So a lot of creativity, focus, clarity of mind, which I love.
Mm,
Yes.
mm.
So yellow is the one I use to get things moving. I told you with slower metabolism, constipation, all sorts of good stuff.
What does it? Obviously, we can't show it here. We can do the sound part. We can't show the colors. What are you seeing? Are you seeing, not like, you're at a club and lights are bouncing all over the place.
Right.
What's it look like?
Well, directly above you, so you're in a chair, and most people recline all the way back. You don't have to, but either way, above there's a circle, 360 degrees, and the lights are above that. So it almost looks like, think like a moon eclipse or something beautiful with the lights coming out above that.
Mm.
And then the egg is all those beautiful proportions. So it just kind of, the light spreads. And then underneath your chair, you have another light. You're on a hexagon base support, and then there's lights around that. There's actually twice the lights on the bottom than there are on top. So if I'm going to play two colors for you, I put the one I want more powerful on the bottom because there's more of it in the egg. So you have two colors, or we could do the same color above and below you. I wish you had pictures of it because it's so beautiful. It's all untreated walnut on the inside, so it's a really beautiful space.
How do you program? Now the geek side of me has to ask, how do you program the colors? Do you have presets where, okay, this is for, let's say, somebody going through depression. This is for that. This is for this. Or do you kind of fine tune it depending on what somebody
Yeah,
tells you?
that's what I do, fine tune it because there's the music aspect and the sound aspect. So I can kind of, I just have remote controls for above and below with the lights. I have just, it's like an iPod. It's a similar kind of thing for my music.
Mm-hmm.
And I just flip through my binder and figure out what I want to do for you. Most things, if you're telling me that you're coming in for a sinus infection or you're coming in for allergies, most of my symptoms have several different songs I can choose from.
Sure.
So I'm going to look at a song and then I'm going to see other thing that it's good for. If I'm like, oh, this has drums in it and this person can't handle gunshot sounds, they're too similar. So I don't play drums for some people. Or if you've had a bee sting, you don't want, if you're allergic to bees, you probably don't want to have bee humming vibrations. So all of the songs are good for some people, but not everything is good. If you've had a drowning accident, you probably don't want to hear ocean sounds. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So I play with, it's really one-on-one, individualized.
Yeah, it's therapy.
Yes.
It really is therapy in an egg. And there's no side effects. That's the other part, right?
Right. I mean, for the first couple of days, I usually say there's a 5 to 7 day integration period. Some people do feel tired the next day if there's just a lot of energy going through, or maybe emotional. If you are like, if some emotions came up, sometimes you might be thinking about like, why can't I remember, or why am I focusing on X and Y and Z? That happened 10 years ago. I thought I processed that. But if emotions are coming up, sometimes they're in your mind. And so maybe a little bit of emotion, but that's not really a side effect. Well, not like a black box warning, but you might have.
Not at all. But in my journey of understanding a lot of this, I've often heard that when you have memories of things that, maybe not the greatest memories, the reason it's coming up is your subconscious. Your mind is saying, hey, hello, I need to heal from this. I'm trying to remind you about it. And that's essentially what's going on here. We're helping you heal.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Just the negative part is you got to go to Grand Rapids. Nothing wrong with that place.
Well, how about this? I can also do a remote session. People, I like to have most people come in their first time if possible. I think you understand it better when you are able to see it. But if you are not able to come to Grand Rapids and you would like a session, or if you are in Grand Rapids but you're really sick and you can't leave your house or whatever, I can have a picture of you. I will have your name and your date of birth on there, and I set it in the egg just like I would if you were in there. I put it on the chair. I put on the lights above and below you. I still put on the sound just like I would. I would give you a call or a text right before I started the music and shut the doors, just to be like, we are starting. And I'd say while you're at home or whatever, don't be on a bunch of screens. Don't be doing anything crazy stressful. Go sit down and read a book or go take a nap.
I know that sounds woo, but I'm going to say this. What are we talking about? Energy here, right?
Mm-hmm.
I had one of the first Reiki sessions I ever did was virtual. The Reiki practitioner was like 1,500 miles away. Exactly what you said. Sent me a text. Yeah, get in a comfortable place. I'm starting. And I'll text you like 45 minutes later when I'm done, whatever. Mm-hmm. And I just laid down on the couch and did nothing for 45 minutes. She got done and texted me. And she says, yeah, everything was great. Hope you're feeling better. You may feel a little tired, but maybe lighter the next day, which I did, but I felt great. But here was it's not about me, but I got to share this because this is the testament to what energy is and how it works. She says, I just want to let you know that while I was doing your session, I had a visual of you taking me on a little boat, and we were like going through some reeds and weeds, and we look at a little sea life and stuff like that. And I don't know what it was. I figured I'd share it with you. Well, I love to kayak in salt water, and I look at the sea life. I like shallow. I just looking around. Look at that. Look at that. That's my Zen. She actually picked up on that. There's no way you're going to go on, Facebook, Instagram and see that. It was so random, but that was my first foray into energy and how this all works.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Energy is real. I'm sure it's going to be the next way in this world.
Yeah. And I believe that many of us are looking for something to feel better, but we don't know what it is. This is part of it. How do we find you and the egg, Courtney?
Hey, you can check me out at harmoniceggr.com. You can give me a call at 616-970-9186. Or, of course, you can email me at info@harmoniceggr.com.
Super cool. Thank you for sharing all of this today. I think the rest of the day I'm going to be listening to Trilogy of Hope.
Perfect. You're going to love it. You're going to be so peaced out.
I know. All right, we're going to say peace out until we get together next time. And next time, maybe we'll talk about the scans, the special scans you do too.
That would be great. I'll talk
Very
to you
cool.
later.
All right, thanks for being here. We'll be right back.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.